Hello and welcome back to my channel, and let's continue here the adventure of Brandon. And currently he is in this square together with Joey. They need to find this hospital in order to get some equipment to save Brandon's father's life. In the end, we agreed that the hospital is in this square. Joey knew about this hospital, but they previously they met this woman that is part of a faction, a military faction that we do not know too much, but we know that we just saw Brandon and Joey. They saw when they released this woman and they left her behind because she was bitten. As soon as Joey see this, he just kills her immediately. And Brandon now is. But before that, Rose told them that this faction is in the hospital. I didn't ask how many people, but I believe that Joey would ask how many people are there. Are you living there, or so on. But I don't think that they are establishing their base there. I think that these people are basically trying to find some stuff, maybe useful stuff. So they are basically scouting the area, exploring the area, trying to get all resources that they could. So this hospital, I would try to establish right now that it's not their haven. And actually, if I remember correctly, when we rolled this faction, we didn't have too much people in this faction, so just few people as well. So let me just roll now 1d6 and try to see how much or how many actually people from this faction are in this hospital, or at least the number that Rose told to Brandon and Joy. And we have 4. Okay, so 4 people are here, are going to be here in this hospital. Brandon and Joey, they know about it. And I think we saw this car, right? So they might be in this car. We could recognize this car. So I picture the scene as Brandon and Joey walking through the streets. A lot of ruins everywhere, car totally destroyed, some corpses, but no walkers at this point, because we already rolled in the last session the encounter, and there is no encounter so far. And they reach this hospital. And the first thing that I'm going to ask to the Oracle is the car that we saw here in front of this hospital? And I'm going to say that it's probably yes. So I'm going to roll twice and get the best result of it. And we have a yes and an extreme yes. So the extreme yes would say, okay, we not only see this car, but we see the people. They are there. I'm not sure if the four people are there, of only one or maybe 2. So I'm going to go ask the Oracle once again. Is the entire crew close to the car at this moment? And I do not know. And the answer is yes. Okay. So why are they outside, not inside? Because if they were in the car, maybe they already got what they want, or maybe they are trying to find a way to go into this hospital. What are they doing? So we have this theme table, theme oracle, and I'm going to roll twice just to see if we can get some inspiration. So imprisonment and resilience. Okay, I see. What I think that they are doing right now is there are some walkers. I imagine this hospital like there is some kind of fence around the hospital, and maybe there are a lot of walkers. And this group actually, they are doing a great job basically moving the walkers from one side to another in order to open a way, clear way to the hospital. So I think they are using some fireworks maybe, or not fireworks, but things that can make some noise to grab the attention of the walkers. The walkers are following them, and as soon as they move to a certain direction, they use maybe the gate to imprison, to put all the walkers in a place where they cannot leave. And I think that Joey and Brandon, they see these, of course, and they try to hide and see all these movement, because they are not going to pass through them, I believe. So what I'm going to do here is, I imagine as they are four people, um, I think that uh, maybe let me just roll a d4 first to see how many are women or women. Two. Okay, so two men and two women. I believe that at least two guys are handling these walkers as a herd, and a woman as well is trying to help them. But one of the other women is maybe looking or guarding them, trying to protect them to see if there are more walkers coming or any other kind of danger. So she is basically the watcher, and she's taking care of it. For that reason, I think that Brandon and Joey, they need to try to hide. So I'm going to roll stealth just to see if Brandon can hide successfully. So let me roll. Ooh, okay. Two mess ups. It doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter the amount of mess up. If you mess up, you mess up. There is no degree. So, but I do have a success, right? So it means that Brandon can hide successfully, but something might happen. So let me roll in the mess up table, or the solo mess up table, and we have immediately roll to handle your fear. Okay, handle your fear is a mechanic that we do usually in the end of a session, when we ask several questions, and if basically if your anchor died or something bad really happened during the session, you need to roll to handle your fear. And if you fail, you could lose your drive. So in the end, you are overwhelmed by these things. And this is actually what happens now with Brendan. He sees these huge amount of walkers moving from one side to another. He sees these military faction. People really, these guys are professional. So, and they are just about to sneak in this hospital with these military guys there and this huge amount of walkers. So Brandon just, yeah, he's in fear. So he needs to roll to see if he can handle it. And for that, we need to roll wits or empathy. We just need to choose, and we need to succeed in it. Uh, and we do not use any stress die, and we are not allowed to push this. So basically, I need to roll 3 dice, because I have 3 wits, and I hope that I have a success. Ooh, I do have a success. Great. So yeah, these thoughts just come to Brendan's mind, but he shakes it off, and he just thinks, okay, but this is my father. I need to save his life, so I cannot give up. And I think that Joey as well, he can see that Brendan is worried about it, and he says, "Don't worry, kid. Let's just wait, and when everything's clear, we go in and we try to find whatever is necessary." One thing here is that I think that Brendan thinks that maybe he could try to talk to these guys instead of just sneaking in. Maybe these guys could actually help him as well. Maybe. I mean, who said that they are bad, right? They just left this woman behind, Rose, because she was bitten. So, but they didn't kill her, for instance. They just left her. So maybe they are not bad people. Maybe. So what I think that Brandon is trying to do right now is basically have a deep look on these guys to see if they seem to be bad people or not. It's really hard to try this. So I'm going to say, I'm going to ask the Oracle first, um, if Brandon is able to notice um, if they are bad people or not. And I would say that it's not likely, it's unlikely actually that he would be able, so I'm going to roll this twice and get the worst result. And it's yes and yes. So he's able to see um, that they are something, or bad or good. I'm not sure. So maybe an action that they did or something tells Brandon uh, more information. So let me ask the Oracle: are they bad people? Oops, I wrote twice, but the same result as well. So no, they are not bad people. So I think that Brandon feels, maybe he looks to these guys and he feels that they could help him. So I think that Brandon would just whisper to Joy, Joy, um, I think that instead of going there, maybe we could just talk to them. And Joy says, are you crazy, boy? These guys are armed, and they could just shoot us. And yeah, we cannot expose ourselves. But then Brandon tries to manipulate Joey, and he's not good at this actually. But let's see. Okay, choose success and one mess up. Okay, so I got the success, meaning that Brandon can convince Joey to talk to them. But let's see what could be the mess up, because right now I do not have an idea. So it says you or an ally is hurt, 1 damage. Okay, okay, so I can see this. So I think that Brandon tells this to Joy, that agrees. Okay, okay, let's talk to them. So what I think is that Joey just raise his arms and try to approach, and he says out loud, uh, "Hey," to the woman that is watching. Hey, excuse me. And I think that the woman, she was not expecting to see someone there, so she just shoots immediately, without thinking, like a reflex. And uh, as it is only 1 damage, I would say that she just hits his shoulder. But it's not uh, basically not a precise shoot, but something that hurts him. And then Brandon just runs and yells, Joey, no. And Joey says, okay, no, boy, I'm fine, I'm fine, don't worry. And I'm not going to role play everything here, but just imagine that um, these guys, they see, they of course they listen, they can hear the shot, and they just approach and see Brandon, see Joey, and they just they just says what are you doing here? Who are you? And things like that. And Brandon just says, don't worry, we are not here to hurt no one. And I think that he gets his pistol. He just put his pistol on the floor, and he just tries to explain the whole situation. My drive here is protect my sister, and the drive can be used during the session to give a +2 in a roll. Um, so it's not directly protect my sister, but if my fathers die, definitely it's going to affect my sister as well. So I'm going to use my drive at this moment, and I'm going to roll manipulation, although it's not a lie. Actually, he's telling the truth, but he's trying to convince them that they are friendly. And I think as well that as Joey is there with them, he could try to help him too. So we're going to roll +3 because it's the drive and Joey helping him. Whoa! And I have 3 successes. Great. As they are 4, I would say that with these 3 successes, maybe one of these people are reluctant on accepting helping this kid, but 3 of them are convinced by it, and yeah, they are there just to try to explore the hospital. Maybe he says, okay, where do you live, or something like that. They try to understand a little bit, and I think that Brandon is very honest and tells everything that they ask for, and Brenda asks just for help. And I think that Joey is a little bit concerned when Brendan starts to tell everything, because yeah, it's their haven. So if these are bad people, they could just go there and destroy or steal or do whatever they want. And they are trained people as well, so it could be actually a bad decision of Brendan. But it is what it is, and Brendan is trying to save his father's life. So, but these people they agree. Okay, let's see if we can find the ambulance and the equipments that you need. But we need things too. So we are going to probably to have more. But if we have some spare things, you can just take them. No worries. We don't want an ambulance. We just want useful stuff for us at this moment. Yeah, so I think that this is it. So we are going to have 4 NPCs. I need to bring some names, just the first name. So maybe one is Alex, Bob, maybe Karen, and Jessica. Okay, and the one that didn't agree with to help them, maybe the reluctant one is, let me roll a d4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 is Karen. Maybe Karen actually did the shoot on Joey. So maybe this is the reason that she doesn't want to help them. Maybe now she's worried that Joey will try to hurt her or something like this. Now we have a group of 6 people. So let's just move to the hospital scene. So I've created this scene. Of course, this is not exactly the hospital, but just to change the background a little bit. I think that as soon as they already cleared the path to go into this hospital, The first thing Brandon does is try to see if he can see, maybe even outside, yet an ambulance. And I'm going to ask the oracle, is there an ambulance outside? Whoa, extreme yes. Okay, so there is an ambulance there. But it is an extreme yes, meaning that they just need to take the ambulance and go away. So it makes my life actually way more easier. But I need to roll actually how the vehicle is. So there is a table here for vehicle, and I can just roll here. And if I roll, I can see that it is functional, but breaks down after driving these 6 sectors if not repaired. And a full tank. Okay, so this is actually great. Let's see how long it would um, work. Four sectors. So if we go back here, we have 1, 2, and 3 sectors. This is this is actually great. So in the end, we already have the ambulance. I'm not sure if Joey has tech skill. He does not have, but maybe one of these military guys, they know a little bit about vehicles, and they see, and okay, kid, this is not perfect, but I believe that you can just take this ambulance and drive and just go away, and yeah, that's it. But I think that they need to go in as well, because it's not only the ambulance. As his father has these, his eye is injured. He basically lost his eye. Uh, I think that they need some kind of equipment in order to have a surgery. So yeah, and they have this list of things that they need. Regardless, the fact that they just found very easily the ambulance and in a good shape, they still need to go in to find this equipment. So they need to go in to get medical supplies. So let's go in this hospital. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a clock actually. Let me create an additional clock, or maybe just remove or rename this one because we are ready with them. So I'm going to put here medical supplies, and medical supplies is going to start with a 1, and I need to roll a d6, and if I roll 1, I find medical supplies. Otherwise, I will increase this to 2, and I'm going to increase this. But if I don't find medical supplies, or actually every time that I roll to find a medical supply, I will roll as well for a random encounter. And of course, this encounter probably is going to be a walker or something like that. So let's try this. So I'm going to roll a d6 to see if we can find the medical supplies. So the scene is they go in, they start searching and so on, the things in the hospital, and let's see if we can find something. 4, meaning that we don't. So I will increase these to 2, and I'm going to roll for our encounter. And the encounter happens if I roll a 6. No encounter. Okay, so I believe that the hospital is dark. We have some light from the sun outside, but as we go deep into the corridors do not have any window, so it's really dark. So people, they just turn on their flashlights and they move. It's really quiet, and actually the silence is really painful at this moment because they are really afraid of yeah, just find something in the darkness. But they move. So let's roll again. Now I need to roll 1 or 2 in order to find the medical supply. and a 5. Okay, so let's roll for a random encounter. A 1. Great. Okay. So let me increase here now. So we keep moving. I think that maybe one of them, maybe Jessica and Bob, they split the groups. They're grouping into two. One go from one side of the corridor and the other one for the other side. They open all the doors. They get whatever they find that could be useful. And I think that maybe I could just roll a scavenge table just to see if Brandon can find something for him. So let me roll here, scavenge table, and light flares. Oh, cool. Okay, so we get these light flares. And yeah, Brandon takes this. And now let's see if we can find medical supplies. The ones that we need. So 1, 2, or 3. 1. Great. This is great. Let's see if we have an encounter as well. 5. No. Cool. So yeah, they just find this broom, and then maybe Joey has this list, and they say, "Oh, kid, it seems that we find something," and they just get whatever they need and put in a bag or in a backpack. And yeah, they say, "Guys, we are okay. We can leave now." Um, but I'm not sure if this military faction wants to leave right now. So I'm going to ask, are they going to leave or are they going to stay? So are they going to leave? Yes? Cool. Okay, so maybe they already saw uh, whatever they need. They already got everything that they need. They see that Brendan has as well what he needs. So they just go back and um, go to the ambulance and get everything and put everything in the ambulance. The ambulance is working, so I believe that Joey just get the ambulance, and I think that that's it. Yeah, it was way easier than what I expected. So yeah, Brandon just says, "Thank you guys for your help." Let me just ask. We have 4 here, but are there more than these guys? Maybe they are part of a bigger group. Let me ask, and I would say that probably not. So I'm going to roll twice. Are they part of a bigger group? And I have a no and a no. Okay, great. I rolled 3 twice. Uh, okay, so as it is a no, um, maybe Brendan says, Joey, these guys, they help us. Maybe maybe it would be great if they could join us as well. And I think that Joey is reluctant as well about this, but I think that Brandon just asks, hey guys, sorry, but I'm not sure if you have a place to go, but would you like to join us in our haven?" And they say, "No, kid, sorry, um, we have our own goals here. We are glad that we helped you, but we need to follow our way. Maybe this hospital is a good place. It's empty. Maybe we could establish um, our base here, something like that. But take care, kid, and I hope your father is well. We now can just move. So move. Brandon, just go to the ambulance. Joey maybe is driving, or maybe Brandon is driving, um, and they just move back to this square. So let me roll if we have an encounter, and as it is a square that I already have visited, I can just roll 1d6 instead of 2, and the answer is no. No encounters. So he moves to this direction now, and let me roll again. 5. No encounters. Cool. And then going back to the haven, let's see. Ooh, we do have an encounter here. Okay, let's see what encounter we have. So if I go here, encounter type, 6, faction. Okay, I only have one faction, and this is the military faction. I'm going to ask the Oracle, is this the faction, the military faction? Extreme, no. No, it's a new faction. Let me roll a faction. I have here generator as well, faction. Let me roll, and let's see. It's a small faction, 1 to 5 members. They are chaotic murders. Only the strong survive, and they are starving. Okay, so murders. So I think these guys are basically, let's roll a d6 to see how many they are. 3 guys. Okay, so what I think is these guys, these 3 guys, they are bad people definitely, and they try to steal from people, from the survivors, and I think that they have been wandering and trying to find stuff because they are starving, right? They are going to try to ambush us, to steal from us, or maybe even kill us, because this is what they do. These guys are crazy, these 3 guys. So what I'm going to ask the Oracle first is, let me roll a ruin just to see where we are. So if I go here, ruins, and roll, we have police station. An elk or a deer has found its way in here. In front of a police station, there is this elk dead in the middle of the street. And I think that they just put this there to, if someone drives, they need to basically try to avoid the body. As they do this, they will move their car to some kind of traps, maybe some caltrops on the road that could just damage the tires. And let me see if Brandon can see it first. So I'm going to roll a scout roll, but definitely he needs to have at least a -1 here. So let me roll this. And I do have a success. Great. So what I think that happens is that Brandon is driving and he sees this elk dead and the road. So, and he tries to move the car, but something shines. I think that we rolled the weather in the last session. It was foggy, but I think that the fog just dissipated at this moment. Sunlight just reflects something on the floor, and he sees this right in time. So he sees these caltrops or something like this, and he just stops immediately. And he just tells Joey, there's something in the road, so it could damage our tires. And as soon as Brandon says this, these 3 figures, they just approach. And I would need a scout roll again. Let's see if they can see something. And they can't. I can push it, but it's risky. But I'm going to push anyway. Oh man, this is not good. Let's roll in the solo mess up table and alert our nearby swarm by making noise. Raise threat level 1 step. The threat level should be increased by 1. It means that we were in a threat level 0 with clear and safe area, but there are walkers around, but they have not noticed you. I do not know how big it is. Actually, I can just roll a d6 to see the number of walkers. 5. Oh, but this is too much. I will not change this result. So there is about 100 of walkers nearby. Um, of course, Brendan does not see these. This is just I know as a GM that there are 100 of wonders really close to this place. Um, and I'm not sure if these bad guys knows about it. Do the bad guys know about these 100 of walkers nearby? I don't think so, so I'm going to roll 2 eyes for them. And yeah, so I will keep the most negative result is extreme no. So yeah, no, they are there for a while. They have been um, doing this trap. Maybe they, as it is in this same quadrant as the haven, maybe they saw that there were people here walking and so on. So yeah, they are not expecting to find um, walkers here, but only people. But actually, there are 100 of walkers in this square, and this is actually even a problem for the haven. As we mess up, I think that these guys they just shows up and they just yell and they just grab Brendan and try to push him out of the car because the door was not locked. You just open the door like GTA style. They just try to push Brendan outside the car. So Brendan needs to make a force check in order to stay in his position. So it's going to be his strength 2, and they have as an NPC in general they have always 4. Okay, so what I think that happens here is Brendan can succeed. So I think that as soon as this guy try to uh, get Brendan out of the car, I think that Brendan just yells and he kicks this guy, and this guy just cannot move Brendan. But as Brendan yells, we increase the threat level once more. It means now that there are walkers close by, but they're not aware of you yet. But they are really close. So I think that with this noise, yelling, and so on, a group of walkers just approach. And we can see them. Do these guys see the walkers as well? And they don't. Okay, let me see if Brendan sees these. So with them, yeah, and Joey, and yes, and he sees these, and I'm going to increase the threat level now because as Brendan sees it, he just yells. It's a huge amount of walkers coming. Now that we have a threat level 3, actually the swarm size we already roll is 5. In order to flee these swarm, what we need to do, we need to roll 3 skills. And it could be me, it could be my NPC, but as we are playing solo, it's going to be only me. And in order to avoid these by the rules, I need to have the success equal to the swarm size plus the threat level. So it's a lot of success that I need to have. I need to have 8 success. 8. But we do have a car, right? We do have this ambulance. And what I think that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ambulance. I think that he just instead of moving forward, he just goes back with the ambulance. And for that, I'm going to roll, my first check is going to roll mobility. And I think that Joey helps as well. maybe giving him directions. And as we have the ambulance as well can be used to crash some walkers. A car has a +2 that I can add as a gear dice, so in the end it's going to be +3. And let's see if I have 8 success, but I have 3 skills that I can use. So the first one is going to be mobility, and I only have 1 success. Okay, I can push this. And actually, I oh, my stress die, they were not added. Sorry. So I'm going to re-roll it. So let me re-roll. So this is the first skill check, mobility with +3 roll. Okay, great. So I have 2 successes, but I have a mess up as well. So let me roll in the mess up table. Uh, an existing uh, an existing challenge worsens or become more complicated. Okay, so I'm going to increase the strat level again. So now it means that I have 2 successes in total, um, but now instead of 8, I need 9. Okay, man, this is yeah. So I need 9, meaning that I still need 7 successes. Maybe one of these guys, these crazy guys, they have a gun, so they just start shooting like crazy. And yeah, but Brandon just keep driving. He just tried to drive the ambulance and to avoid the swarm. And let's just roll mobility again. And +3, 2 from the car, E1 from Joey. And I have 4 successes and no mess ups. So 4 +2, 6. And now it is my last roll, and I need to have 3 more successes. Yeah, and it's going to be mobility again. 3 more successes. And I just have 1. Okay, I only have 1 success, so I failed in the end to flee from this swarm. So I'm going to roll here in the random swarm attack and see what happens. 2. And 2 says single attack. A single walker attacks your PC or an NPC with a single attack. Roll a random die to see who is target. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 is going to be Brendan. 4, 5, 6 is going to be Joey. And it is Brandon. So I need to roll the single attack and walker attack. This is the roll. Let's see what happens. It chases after you. You get away, but you must make a mobility roll to not stumble and fall. If you fail, you hit your head on something sharp and takes 2 points of damage. Okay, so what I think that happened here is basically one of the walkers just is in the door, the car's door, and trying to bite Brandon's, and he needs to use his mobility to move the car and so on. And if he fails, he is going to hit his head or something like that. But the good point here is he's not going to be beaten or something like that. So let me roll mobility, and I need to have a success. So I'm not going to add the car or Joey or anything like that. It's just going to be his mobility. And I have 1 success. Oof, okay. So yeah, Brendan just drives and moves really fast, and he turned the wheel to one direction and then to another direction, and eventually the walker just released the door, and yeah, and he can just move away from the swarm. And I would say that these 3 crazy guys that were there, they just yells and shoot and so on. And Brandon just have a look on the mirror and sees that these guys probably are not going to survive this huge amount of undeads, of walkers. And yeah, so Joey now is trying to give Brandon the direction where he needs to drive, because he's going to some streets that he's not familiar with too. And then eventually he reaches the haven. Yeah, Emily is the scout, so she just sees them approaching and she just yells, open the gate, they are back, they are back. She sees the ambulance and they open the gate. But and as soon as Joey leaves, left the car, he just yells, "Be careful! There are hundred of walkers uh, nearby, and they might come in this direction. So we need to be prepared." And as Joey is just yelling to the people that they need to be prepared, and they start moving, and it's like a preparing for the worst. Brendan just runs to Dr. Benjamin Lawson with the equipment, and and just delivered everything to him to save his father's life. Like a montage or something like this. People are preparing their defenses, um, and at the same time, um, the doctor is taking care of Jack Scott, uh, Brendan's father, and of course, Brendan goes to see as well his sister, if she's fine. She missed him. Um, but everything seems to be fine now. Um, of course, the only problem now is that this swarm of hundreds of walkers are close to their haven. Would the swarm come to the haven, or would the swarm move to another place? I could just ask the oracle to see the swarm's direction. Actually, let me see. If I roll here, if I roll that it stays in the sector, it means that it's going to find the haven. But no, eventually the swarm, they do not find the haven, and they just move to west, uh, meaning that they are safe, and they can just leave for another day. Eventually, Jack Scott he awakes, and he sees his daughter and his son there, and he does not understand what happened, but he tells what happened to him, who did this to him, and I will not generate this situation right now. I just think that in the end they are there. Brendan, he succeeded in bringing his sister and find his father, and at the same time he has found a safe place to live with his family, and and that's it. So I think this is a happy ending for my session. So I probably will play more in the future, but I'm going to wait for the official rules and the official module as well. But so far, I'm really happy with the result. I like it. I like this game. I like the mechanics. I like the tables. Everything worked pretty well. And I hope you like it. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.